Hey everybody, so we're doing our second literature synopsis. This is Lauren Moss Hunt. The article I chose is called The Use of Reflection in Medical Education by John Sanders. So the goal of this article was to explain reflection, provide practical advice to implementation and assessment in undergrad, postgrad, and continuing education. So kind of all realms of education. They defined reflection in three different pieces, so planning, doing, and reviewing. They go into something called metacognition. So it's a self-regulatory process. It selects, monitors, evaluates essentially a cognitive process. So the benefits of this, it can be performed before or after a situation. So more personal growth, learning. The therapeutic self, they explain this as personal values of empathy and caring, allows for development of self-efficacy, and it commits them as a lifelong learner. So the big moral of the story that I got from this is that mindset is important for a change to take place. If you're not ready to do that, it's not going to happen. So ethical aspects of reflection. Essentially some downsides to this. So it does create a self-awareness, but it can also create self-rumination. So thinking over and over again about what you did wrong, creating a sense of anxiety. The intention and setting are also really important. So it should be ideally in a group of peers with a facilitator present in a safe environment. So approaches to reflection in medical education. So they talk about reflection for learning. So essentially something that Kolb's talked about in our reading this week, learning through having experience that's integrated into existing knowledge. So simply building on top of what we already have. Then reflection to develop a therapeutic relationship. So patient-centered care with improved outcomes, patient satisfaction, and improve chronic care and concordance. And then the last piece was reflection to develop professional practice. So essentially learning things that you're going to add to your practice that you're currently in. Educational strategies to develop reflection. So you need motivation for the reflection. The learner must identify importance of reflection and personal growth and professional development. So they need to understand what the purpose and the drive is behind this whole idea. So metacognitive skills for reflection, skills to monitor and evaluate. So noticing is one. Noticing is things like self-monitoring, feedback from others, critical incidents, and significant event analysis. Then processing, that includes reflection for learning. So asking questions like, does anything surprise me about this situation? Do I have the information or skills to deal with the situation? Do I need to have further information or skills to deal with this situation either now or in the future? And then the next one, also within processing, reflection to develop a therapeutic relationship. So identify and challenge current belief systems and assumptions. Under that as well, same realm of processing, reflection to develop professional practice. So developing professional expertise through repeated exposure in films and literature. Then storytelling and writing. That one's pretty self-explanatory, but in a reflection sense. Professional development plans and portfolios. So those are things like identification of learning needs, developing a plan to meet identified learning needs. So common problems with reflection in medical education, these are kind of like at the end of the article and they mention limitations. So what are the downsides of this? If there's low engagement, so if there's not a motivation that's there, difficulties with phases of reflection, lack of integration of reflection in overall teaching and learning approach. So just not incorporating the things that you're gaining from the activity of reflection. Hope you're staying well. Thanks for tuning in.